In the spring of 1992, in Ontonagon, Michigan, a young woman was shot while walking her dogs in the forest. Police concluded it was an accident, but a handwriting analysis, ballistic test, and an unexpected physics experiment led detectives to wonder, what exactly was the hunter's target? On the final day of deer hunting season, Judy Moilanen, a well-liked dog trainer and medical professional, took her dog on a walk through the forest by her house. Her dogs later returned home, but Judy was nowhere to be found. Judy's mother and a neighbor went looking for her, and they found her on the trails in the woods, dead. Judy was shot in the chest, then died from that gunshot wound. It could have been an accident, considering it was hunting season, but the bullet was not found. Neighbors claimed they heard gunshots at 2 p.m. Judy had a longtime husband of 14 years, named Bruce. He was an insurance adjuster as well as a support staff at a local hospital. Together, the two had a little girl who was just 3 years old at the time of Judy's murder. On the day of the murder, Bruce claims he had an alibi during the time of the incident. Bruce seemed to be angry that his wife didn't wear orange, and she should have been more careful, considering it was hunting season. Bruce's behavior was becoming more and more strange. He gave Judy's clothing to her friend, Gail Lampion, right after the funeral. With the clothes was a letter which was supposed to be written by Judy. It was signed Jude's, her nickname. Judy didn't know Gail all that well, so this letter was strange. In summary, the letter talked about how Judy was having problems with her marriage and her and Bruce were going apart. It said, "My marriage is falling apart. I need to find someone for Bruce." One line from the letter said, quote, "After 14 years, we don't see the same things anymore. You are the only woman he trusts. And he's great in the sack." He also told Gail that he would have a lot of money and they would be set for life. Bruce was also asking Lee Ann Wysocki Jessup, one of Judy's friends, to be more than friends after Judy had died.
He asked me if we could be more than friends and if I could move in with him. I was like, oh my God, that's so strange because his wife had just passed away.
He became a stalker and would call and invite Lee and Gail on ski trips and try to hang out with them. Of course, they turned him down every time. Forensic investigators examined the handwriting features, including the size and slope of the writing, pen pressure, pen lifts, the spacing between words and letters, the position of the writing on the baseline, height relationships, and beginning and ending. The handwriting of the letter was slow and a deliberate indication that the document could have been forged. Several characteristics in this letter are unlike Judy's usual handwriting. In the known sample of Judy's handwriting, the end part of the T is round and almost looks like a B. In the letter, there is a visible separation of the T and the H. The letter was then found to be forged. Forensics investigators concluded Bruce had written the letter. 1 year ago, while Bruce was working on the roof of their house, a brick slid off and almost took Judy's life. A fire also broke out while Judy was home alone, but she woke up in time to get safely out of the house. There was a scrape mark on a tree 40 feet away from where they found Judy's body. They tested the tree to see if there was any trace of lead with a chemical called sodium rhodizonate, which turns the lead purple. And it came back positive for lead in the scrap mark. The next step was to find where the bullet was in the forest. An investigator took a slingshot and shot marbles at the tree to see where they would land. He found the bullet where the marbles would ricochet off the tree. They took the bullet to a firearms examiner, and as they pulled back the shell of the bullet, they found a tiny pink and tiny black piece of fiber, which matched the shirt and coat Judy was wearing that day. Investigators determined that this bullet could only be shot from 4 different kinds of rifles. Bruce owned one of the same brands of that rifle. When Bruce was shown all of the evidence and that Gail wanted nothing to do with him, he finally confessed to the murder of his wife, Judy. Bruce told police that he threw the rifle in a nearby river. Bruce also stated that one part of the evidence was wrong because it had said that she had been shot through the left of her chest and the bullet had exited the right side, but he said that it was flipped. And this confirmed his confession because that piece of evidence would have only been known by the person doing the shooting. Bruce said his motive was he was tired of Judy and didn't want to get a divorce because she would get half of everything. To prepare for the trial, investigators had recreated the chimney block incident. Bruce had said that he accidentally moved it with his foot, but they determined it was too heavy and needed a deliberate push to fall off the roof. During the trial and during Gail Lampin's testimony, Bruce reportedly began crying. The defense didn't have a single person to put on the stand. Bruce pleaded not guilty and said the cops coerced the confession from him. But the forensic evidence was more than enough. The jury found him guilty and he was arrested and charged with premeditated murder. Today, Bruce is better known as inmate number 235252 in Lakeland Correctional Facility in Coldwater, Michigan, at security level 2. He has no chance at parole. Bruce was guilty.